Yo, Vo, why are you doing that?
Anime Guru.
Drop yet, bruh.
Don't worry.
Is anime worth your time?
Drops January 7th. Listen.
If you've existed as a human being for a long enough time, I'm sure you've seen somebody get recommended the One Piece series. I'm also sure that it was immediately followed up by a reflexive, "Isn't that show like 20,000 episodes long?" response. But what does this really mean about how we feel about the length of shows? When you think on it for a sec, it's not like you're committing to watching the whole show. It's not a task to accomplish, it's for leisure. So why do we care so much about being able to finish it? Maybe we doubt our self-control and worry we're gonna lose our lives to the One Piece, like so many great pirates before us. Maybe we yearn for the satisfaction of an ending, or maybe we just doubt the craftsmanship of a story so cartoonishly elongated. At this point, you may be wondering what I, the anime guru, think about One Piece. And I don't really have an opinion on it, cause it's long as shit, and I ain't watching all that. One Piece's length is actually a bit of an outlier within anime. 1,100 episodes, 900 episodes, hell, even 150 episodes sounds like an excessive amount to most people, and I, the anime guru, am one such person. There seems to be a misconception among people that most or all anime is hundreds of episodes long and never ending, when, in reality, once you get real deep into it, you'll invariably face a wasteland of 12 episode adaptations covering 1/5 of a manga. With such sparse episode counts, considering that anime episodes are on average very short, surely you would imagine that directors would at least want to pack the episodes to the brim with relevant action and developments, but no. Much more commonly than I find myself lauding the brevity and effectiveness of anime writing, I find myself asking questions like, why am I watching a minute-long flashback scene that I've already seen twice? Do I need to see every single character's facial reaction to this piece of information once at a time? Does this antagonist need to narrate every single action they take? Why does my horror anime need a 20-minute intermission of uninspired character designs flaunting their cleavage about the coastline? I think when faced with these questions, it's only logical to surmise that maybe anime just isn't worth your time. But that's not the full story. Anime is consistently sectioned off into 24-minute episodes. This shorter episode length when compared to other media is one of the most appealing parts of the genre to me, and probably many other fans, as it doesn't feel like as much of a time commitment to watch one episode, and it's actually much shorter than 24 minutes on average. At the very least, it's pretty much universal that every anime will have a 90-second opening and 90-second ending theme song. On top of this, many long-running anime include a recap segment as well as bonus content after the credits, which combined could take anywhere from 20 seconds to 5 minutes. This means that you can comfortably watch 3 episodes of anime within 1 hour on most occasions. Anime's episode counts aren't typically comparable to other Western TV shows, often using a 47-minute or 1 hour per episode format, and these larger episode counts in anime aren't always reflective of the true length of the show.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, hey.
Even so, you'll see a lot of anime fans wearing the amounts of time they've wasted on anime as something of a badge of honor. We are on average a pretty optics-based and sometimes gatekeepy community, and there's so many layers to what it means to be a real anime fan that total disregard seems like the only logical response. But if we're being honest here, having a community of potentially like-minded people to talk about your interests with is too good to pass up. There's usually an anime or two that can be finely tailored to your interests, to the point where there's pretty much a show about everything. This can partially be attributed to the fact that anime isn't actually a genre as much as it is a medium, but it's also not quite a medium, but that's not important right now. Point is that anime can be funny, gritty, depressing, uplifting, fear-inducing. Hell, they even have some anime that's well written now. So the question of, are there any anime that are worth your time, is generally an easy yes for me. And I'll respond to anybody in the comments looking for a recommendation. But what if you want to get into anime? If you take interest in the aesthetics, the music, the conventions, the cosplay, or the general culture surrounding anime, then you're like me. Now, does that make you a fool? Is anime truly a spectacular waste of time? Is it the forbidden fruit which ought to remain unbitten? I mean, maybe not. On one hand, I know many people who have, for example, started learning Japanese or looking into media analysis due to an initial interest in anime. These are some very useful and unique real-world skills which may prove beneficial to you in the long run, but just as many people I've found get really into something like body pillows. And hey man, I'm not here to judge. The most effective way I think I can approach answering the question of whether or not anime is worth your time is by addressing why anime is worthwhile in the first place, and leaving the rest up to you guys to decide. So, what makes anime special at all? Well, I won't lie to you guys. A lot of people are just attracted to cartoon characters, and I'm not here to judge.
I really like FNAF World. I really like it. I think it's so cute and silly and fun. I love it so much. I personally think that there should have been more Freddy and Monty oiled up naked wrestling in the...
But in terms of the storytelling itself, the primary allure of anime seems to clearly be its nature as animation. In a Western context, when I see anime, my brain makes an immediate association with cartoons. And cartoons make me think about the good old times, as I'm sure they do for many of you watching. A reminder of when things were simpler, a nostalgic haze where time and space blurred together as you were entranced by a fictional universe unfolding before your still hope-fueled eyes. I.e. escapism. We all do it, and a lot of people simply need it from time to time. It's no mystery that anime, at least to me, is both foreign literally and in the sense that it hardly resembles the real world. It's easier for me to get lost in such a distinct universe as compared to if I were watching something like Breaking Bad. And the ability to further immerse the viewer can actually be a good thing no matter how you look at it. Oftentimes, people come looking for an escape, but become so emotionally invested in the show that they fall in love with the characters. This heightened emotional impact can be utilized by skilled writers to communicate important messages and incite positive change amongst the viewer base. And tons of shows do this. I think this, along with the prevalence of the community, can largely be credited with so many people falling into anime. Especially considering the fact that anime leaks out of the screen and into the real world through the presence of such an especially dedicated fandom. It gets weirder when anime gets made about said fandom, and then the fandoms form around said anime, and then you're watching the 9th installment of Monogatari or Fate, wondering how you got so thoroughly wrapped up in this treacherous web we've all woven. Literally one of the most prominent genres of anime is called Isekai, meaning another world, where the character lives in another world. And another of the most prominent is called iyashike, which is characterized by its immersiveness. A lot of good anime recognizes and actively critiques this. Shows like Evangelion, Mob Psycho 100, Bakemonogatari, and many others actively combat this idea of escapism, while still reaping the benefits of being in an animated art form. It truly is impossible to put all anime into a box. That is my main word of caution though. Just don't get too caught up in anime and be aware of the fact that much, but not nearly all, of it is made with escapism or at least heightened immersion in mind. But so is almost all storytelling. One of the main reasons stories exist is to teach us lessons in a more memorable manner by attaching characters and, by extension, emotions to them. They're trying to trick our brain into thinking it knows these characters, and it should feel for them like they're real people on some level. I don't think escapism is inherently a bad thing. It has an almost exclusively negative connotation in my experience, but like anything else, I think it's a gradient. Things are not so straightforwardly escapist or not escapist. There are a lot more variables to it, each with their own pros and cons. Now, I'm not saying to abandon all societal obligations and try to dissolve yourself into a stream of moe anime. Just keep in mind the power escaping can hold, and make your anime-related decisions accordingly. That's about all I have to say on this topic, but I appreciate everybody who made it this far in the video immensely. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I just want to give a quick shout out to my patrons: Sumgoon, Trey, Godfather, Hermit's Nook, Artemis Locke, B, and some Gooner Bro. Also, a special thanks to Mr. P and Zygote. Have a good day and subscribe and all that. See you guys.